Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of the Pokemon X Randomizer Nuzlocke. Second trying to record this. I did start recording this and I got like 20 minutes in, and then my camera started complaining that it didn't have any more battery, and then it just turns off and corrupted the facecam file. And I also figured out that I wasn't recording desktop audio, because I always am. I always forget to record the actual game audio. So I'm going to have to like reintroduce a couple of topics I talked about in that failed recording. One of which is obviously, since it's a randomizer Nuzlocke, it's a randomizer, it's a patch ROM, which means yes, this is played on my emulator, which means yes, there might be a bit of a frame drop, just like that, every now and then. Because while 3DS emulation is a thing nowadays, and it is actually somewhat stable, it's still not quite there, and it might take a little while before it actually is like fully like, it might never be perfect at this point, is what I imagine. The other thing is that this is the first time I'm ever doing a Generation 6 randomizer, because back when I was into randomizers and Nuzlockes before taking my break from YouTube, 3DS emulation wasn't really a thing yet, and now it is, and people have developed randomizers for, I guess, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire as well, right? So maybe we'll do that in the future at some point. But I'm really excited to go to Generation 6 with a randomizer, because the latest generation I've done with randomizer, obviously, is Generation 5. And while that was a lot of fun, I really am looking forward to seeing a lot of Generation 6 Pokemon, hopefully, in here. That being said, statistically speaking, obviously, Generation 1 through 5 versus only Generation 6, I'm probably not going to see that many. I would have seen more Generation 6 Pokemon if I didn't do a randomizer. Anyway, so that's like the little PSA out of the way. Hopefully this is going to be interesting. I do know what the first battle is going to be, and what the first youngster has. After that, I have no idea. I got into one encounter in the forest, but obviously there's more than one encounter, so I don't know at all what is in there. I need to think through a little bit here, and that means that I want to go to profile. And do I have my trainer ID in my profile? I imagine so. Can I please... No. I need to know a trainer ID. Can I please have a trainer ID? Do I not have a trainer ID? Okay, so the starters are not randomized because that destabilizes the ROM to a certain extent, and it just makes things crash. So I think both the actual starter we get here, the Gen 6 starter, and then the Gen 1 starters we get from Sycamore, neither of those are randomized. So those are just going to be the usual starters, being Chespin, and I'm pretty sure that's not all supposed to be black. It looks neat though, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be. So let me pull up a random number generator, because that's what I did in the previous recording. Because usually what I would do for my starter, if it's not randomized, I mean if it's randomized it's just whatever. But usually I do based on the last digit of your trainer ID, being if it's 1, 2 or 3, you take the left one. If it's 4, 5 or 6, you take the middle one. If it's 7, 8 or 9, you take the last one. And I've never actually thought about if it's 0, because I think it can be 0. I guess if it's 0, you just get a choice. I guess. It's just your starter. Everything else should be randomized trainers and what Pokemon are like. So let's go to random.org. And I'll wait with generating the actual number until we have the screen in front of us, just for a little bit of excitement. Also, I'm wondering if people actually notice. Probably not, because the face cam still looks pretty good, but only using... No, I don't want to be little V. I want to be big V. Or the V-meister. Can I do big D instead of big V? I can! I'm gonna go with big D. No. Actually, no. I'm not. No. I'm gonna go with V-meister. Oh, I can't. Okay. In that case, I'm going to... what would be a fun thing for them to call me? I'm thinking... I'm just gonna go with Big V. Fuck it. Can I... capitalize? Yeah, I wanna have Big V all in caps. Why? Because it's better than no caps. It's that easy. So I'm now Big V. Got a better idea. Got a way better idea. That just finishes it. I'm Big V. I was gonna go with Big D. Just because it's funny. But it's really not funny. It's the thing. So... also, it's just kind of weird to be called Big D if your name doesn't start with a D. So, these should be the starter Pokemon, and we're going to generate. Chaspin would be a 1, Fennekin is 2, Froakie is number 3. Our random number generation goes with 2. We're going to go with Fennekin. In my previous recording, I got Froakie. We go with Fennekin here. And I... can I prove this to you? I'm going to prove this to you real quick. Just because I know what the upcoming battle is and I don't want you to think that I picked Fennekin just because of that. Let's go with a... window capture... Chrome. And then make this one separate. And then we go this, and it doesn't show. You know what? That doesn't matter either way. I don't understand why it doesn't show that. It's 2. You'll just have to believe me. It's 2. Where's my emulator? There it is. Okay. So let's go with Fennekin. I'm sorry I couldn't prove it. I don't have like a little webcam I can just point at my screen. Obviously, it's a big camera on a tripod and all that kind of stuff. So I, of course, I want to give it a nickname. Fennekin. You are going to be called Mr. Gerald. I don't know why. Also, I feel like Gerald should be capitalized. Wait a second. Yeah, Mr. Gerald? Just Gerald is actually a good name. Yeah, let's go with just Gerald. I don't know. I'm going to... the theme for this series nicknames is going to be just random shit, I guess. I'm not going to go with a theme. Last time we had a theme of YouTube personalities for the nicknames. That ended up actually being more difficult than I gave it credit for. To start with, I thought, oh, there's going to be so many characters and people on the internet I can take names from. It actually ended up being more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So, in this series, we're just going to give names that I like. And they might be related to something, they might not be related to something. Like Gerald is just, it's just Gerald. Fennekin is now just Gerald. And that's okay. Going back to the facecam thing, I was talking about that before. Usually I would have 2 lights set up, one over here and one over there. And I couldn't be bothered today setting up the second light because it blocks my door and it's a pain. This light up here is always up because it's just, you can't really see what I'm pointing at. It's up here. Of course, I did not think about that. Before when I chose Froakie, this fight was against a Beartic. And I did not choose Fennekin because I knew that, but I figured, okay, so now that we have a Fennekin, the fight against Beartic is going to be significantly easier. But me not having Froakie, but Fennekin, means that my rivals also have different Pokemon. Which means that Beartic is not here, it's a Pancham, which still significantly easier to take down, because I definitely lost against the Beartic, I'll tell you that much. It's before we get to Pokeballs though, so it doesn't count as an actual loss for the Nuzlocke. But I definitely lost that, and I did miss out on some experience because of it, which was a bit of a bummer. I'm still going to lose, I think, unless I get a critical hit here, or our Pancham misses its attack. Or can I survive with a bit of... No, I can't. Okay, so I still lost this battle. It's too bad. Again, doesn't count for the Nuzlocke because I haven't had an opportunity to capture anything yet. So... Another thing is coming up on Route 2. You always get into an encounter with a Pidgey. That doesn't count for two reasons, because it's a set encounter. And mostly because you encounter it before getting your Pokeballs, which still... It's a bit of a weird design decision to me, to make you forcefully encounter a Pokemon before you can even capture something. So why would you do that? Forcefully making you encounter a Pokemon right after you're getting your Pokeballs. That's... I can understand that, but why before? I don't understand that really. So I'm going to be honest with you, the encounter I got in the forest wasn't that good before, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that, right? Because I did record this episode before, but things just didn't go well technically, and I have to re-record it. But it's also the first episode, so am I really re-recording the episode, or am I re-recording this series? Because... obviously, I also have a different starter now, and should I take into account what happened in the field recording at all? Should I try to encounter the Pokemon that I encountered in the forest before again, or should I just go with my first encounter? I'm gonna go with my first encounter, just because I don't know what else is in there, because after I captured it, I figured out what was wrong, and don't you give me the experience share, by the way. I just walked past you last time, but I think... No, you don't. So yeah, the experience share is going to make this Nuzlocke a lot easier. Not the Nuzlocke itself, but just this is the set encounter, by the way. The grinding between episodes, always a bit of a thing for me. I don't mind it. I just put up some other YouTubers' videos and I just grind while listening to those, and that's great fun in its own right. But this is going to make such a big difference. It's going to be huge. I might have to turn off or put somebody in the box during the grinding to keep them from over leveling, or turn the XP share off and just grind them one at a time. Though I think I'm going to do the box thing because it's just so much quicker having the EXP share. And that brings me to the rules of the series, which we're 15 minutes in. So the usual thing, only the first thing you encounter on any given route you can capture. When a Pokemon dies or faints, you put it in the box, never to be used again, unless you need it for HM purposes, but HMs are still a thing. This is Generation 6, not Generation 7. Yes. I wonder if Generation 7 has randomizers already as well. I'm sure it does. Maybe we'll look into that in the future as well. But other than that, I always, since like 2 series ago, I like to use another rule. And that rule is I cannot move Pokemon between the team and the box. I can move Pokemon from the box to the team, obviously, but I can't move as soon as a Pokemon hits my team. I cannot put it back in the box until it dies. Meaning that we do have to deal with what we're given, and we can't prepare as well sometimes for certain gyms, depending on what typings we have. That being said, we can't really prepare for anything either way in this series because it's randomized. But very well, theoretically, it could be the case that we have a huge water weakness and we have an electric type in the box, but we can't use it until something dies. I think that makes like more of an interesting dynamic for the series and like stories to be told. Huh. That's actually a very good fit, I think, for my team right now. A ducklet. So let's try not to kill it, but I like the idea of having a ducklet. I don't like the idea of having water gun used against me because I do have Pokeballs now. Am I going to lose this Nuzlocke in the first episode? No. But I'm going to throw a ball at your face. Do I have potions? I have one potion. I'm literally using a potion against a wild ducklet. That's insane. But I need to damage you a little bit more. You can use Water Sport, that doesn't matter to me because I wasn't going to use Amber either way. Because you are a water type. But Water Sport might actually... I might, maybe, potentially have a use for that. Because it's randomized and we could end up facing something. No, because... See, why would I ever use a move like that and then send in a grass type? I guess... Fire type moves would be neutral at that point, so I could. I very much could, but I do have the water type itself, which resists grass type fire type moves. And if I'm against a fire type, surely I would rather have the water type stab moves. So no, it actually isn't useful. Okay, so ducklets. I mean, there's only one name. No. I was gonna name him Donald because Donald Duck. But Ducklet is obviously based on the Ugly Duckling. And it evolves into Swanna, being a swan. So I can't name it Donald Duck because when it evolves, it won't be a duck. That is a very good question. What am I going to name this this ugly duck? Also, it's a female, so Donald would maybe not fit very well. I'm gonna go with Karen. I don't know. It's just it kind of fits. I don't know why. It's just I see Swanna as a real like Karen type. I mean, I know Fiona. It's not very strong, necessarily. But still is a, like, semi-legendary Pokemon, kind of-ish. It comes from a Manaphy, which, Manaphy is legendary, definitely. Is Manaphy classified as a mythical Pokemon? I think it might be. And Fiona, obviously, you can reproduce infinitely to get more and more Fiona. So, and then it's definitely not that... Actually, maybe, because if Manaphy is a mythical, getting Fiona is only possible through a Manaphy. I have to imagine that Fiona is classified as a mythical as well. You could argue one of them being a legendary and the other not, but if it's a mythical, they both have to be mythical. Also, there's no Pokemon Center in this place. Oh, there is, but it's just very well obscured because it's not obvious whatsoever. Right? Right. I maybe this is the Pokemon Center. I think I have to get back to my mom. I'm actually let's look this up while we walk back. Is Manaphy a mythical Pokemon? Is Manaphy a mythical? Water type mythical Pokemon introduced in Generation 4. That's what Bulbapedia says. So, Manaphy apparently classified as mythical, which by extent I think must mean that Fiona is also a mythical. Because the thing for mythicals, I think mythicals are all the Pokemon you don't need in order to get things like the shiny charm, right? And if you do need Fion and don't need Manaphy for that, that's just bullshit. Because in that case you would also always have a Manaphy. Because you can't get a Fion without a Manaphy. But that really begs the question, are Cosmog and its evolution legendary Pokemon? Because I already caught something here, yeah. They definitely evolve into legendaries, right? I mean, it evolves into either Solgaleo or Lunala. But is it a legendary itself? It's the first legendary that evolves from something. And the only one up until this point. Which, who fucking knows? Maybe Gen 8, man. Maybe it keeps happening. Probably not. So, let's look if Fion is a mythical. Fion. Is Fion a mythical Pokemon? Fion is listed as a mythical Pokemon in September 2016. Nintendo feature story mythical Pokemon, blah 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 blah, I don't care. So, Fion also a mythical Pokemon, which we ran into a mythical on the first route we could actually capture a Pokemon. That is insane. That's not good for me that my special attack just failed there, I'm gonna be honest. But that's great. Fion, again, not a particularly great Pokemon because it's just... I don't know what its stats are like, but I imagine... I imagine they're worse than Manaphy. Maybe they're the same as Manaphy, actually, because it doesn't evolve into Manaphy, right? Manaphy just gives birth to them, but it doesn't evolve into a Manaphy. I've got my phone here. Let's just look up the base stats for both Manaphy and Fion. Fion, Pokemon. Your base stats totals are... game data. Where are your stats? Where... Okay, so they're 80 across the board. So they are worse than Manaphy. Because I know Manaphy, I think has the same as Mew. Being 100 across the board. I think that's right. Also... Gerald, you're getting a fuck ton of experience. You're already level 8. I approve. And then Manaphy, I'm just gonna check. I'm 99% sure she has the same stats as Mew, 100 across the board. So that means Fion is the same stats as Ditto, right? Because Ditto is the same as Mew, but just a little bit lower. And I think it's 80 across the board for Ditto as well. Which is an interesting parallel, actually, because Ditto... I mean, it's not official, I don't think, but is a failed Mew clone, so... And our encounter is, again, going to be a Starly, which is even less interesting. Now that we have Ducklets. So, that's a bit of a bummer. It was a Starly before as well. I don't know what else is in here, maybe I should switch out. Maybe there's nothing really great in here anyway, and Starly evolving into a Straptor eventually, hopefully, is a good thing. Potentially, but I hoped there would be something else in here which would be more interesting to encounter. Sadly though, we're going to have a second flying type, which is kind of useless to be honest, so let's just capture it and... It fills up the team. It fills up the team. We can't deposit it into the box because of the rules I just discussed, but I don't mind a Starly. I like Starly. I don't know what I'm going to call Starly yet, though. I'm really not good with coming up with just random names. The thing I'm even worse with is coming up with random female names. I'm just... Usually when I think, give me a random name, the first thing that comes to mind is just... male names, and I don't know what that says about me. Maybe that's just natural because I am a guy. I mean, if you didn't notice before, I am indeed of the male half of the population. You are going to be called I don't know. I female, just the first female name that comes to mind. I'm half tempted to just open Facebook and scroll through to see the first, like, female in my timeline. But that just feels like it's not okay to do. You are going to be called Berta. I don't know anybody named Berta, but it's just it just happened. It clicked in my mind. It's like, you're Berta. So another thing I discussed in the last episode. What are you doing? Okay. In the last episode, which I think is a very... Well, not last episode. Last attempt of me recording this. Which I think is a very interesting thing to think about. Is that the layout, at least the layout for the path you have to take in this... Oh, this was so much easier when I had a froggy. Well, it would have been. Anyway, oh my god, I probably should have gone back to the Pokemon Center, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, that's not good. This might be bad, because... surely, you don't have a Rock-type move yet. Surely. You live... Oh my god. Karen. Karen comes through. Okay. You can't miss Water Gun, can you? Got rid of the Rock and Roller. What is your second Pokemon? Because I'm scared. I need to go back and heal. Like, desperately after this battle. But this forest, the way you get through it, it's the same path as in... I'm fucked. I'm absolutely fucked. I mean, I have to go into Gerald, because... Oh, you probably don't have an electric type move yet, because you're probably like level 3 or 4. Level 3, yeah. I have to imagine I outspeed, even though it is a fully evolved Pokemon. I do outspeed. Do I one-shot it? I one-shot it! Oh my god, thank you! I know that I'm more than twice its level, so seeing it being one-shot shouldn't surprise me, but it is an Electivire, and I am a Fanakin, so it kind of surprises me. So let's go back and heal up. The route you take in here, I was so afraid that that guy was going to battle me. The route you take in here is the same as in the Viridian Forest. Which, make of that what you will, really. I think it's an interesting parallel, because you've got to be fucking kidding me. In this route, we have so far encountered the Ducklet we caught, a mythical Pokemon in Fione. Even though it's just a Fione, it was a mythical Pokemon. Of course, the forced encounter against a Pidgey, which actually wasn't randomized. I didn't think about that before. And then a Gigalith. I wouldn't have minded a Gigalith, even though I probably wouldn't have been able to catch it because it wasn't going to stay in a normal Pokeball, and I can't like paralyze it yet, so I'll put it to sleep. But a Gigalith. I wonder what the forest has for us, other than the Starly we captured. It's going to have like Mewtwo. It's going to have Mewtwo and Arceus and freaking like Lunala. I know that's not in this game yet, but still. I was thinking about what other like powerful Pokemon. I probably should have said Silphally because I said Arceus before that. It would have made more sense. I have just gotten the worse on this route, because I would have also very much liked a Vaporeon. One more encounter. I just need to know. I just need to know. Okay, I did not get to worst. At least there's that. I did not get the actual worst encounter on this route. Because Azumarill definitely... Then again, Swanna versus Azumarill. I think I'd rather have an Azumarill. But Azumarill takes a bit of pain to get. So... I don't know either way. So I think, yeah, we're going to call it there for today. Because it's been half an hour. Thank you so much for watching this first episode of the Pokemon X. I want to say Pokemon Black. Black X. Don't really sound the same. Pokemon X Randomizer Nuzlocke. Next time we'll be back going to Route 3, capturing another Pokemon, and are we coming up on the first gym already? I might have to, like, see what we do, because I'm definitely going to have to do some grinding before the first gym, but I want to do another capture before that first, because obvious reasons. Until the next time, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you have indeed enjoyed this video, which hopefully you have. Join the community Discord, linked down below in the description to keep up to date with new videos when they are posted, and also just hang out. I'll see you back next time. Bye.